Hello, I'm Shoestring Jane. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things thrifty, frugal and money saving, and also increasingly of late money making, because I am on a frugal February and one of my aims for February is to try and earn more money from eBay particularly, generally, but from eBay in particular. So my eBay income plummeted over the last couple of months, and that was partly just the time of the year and the things I sell, and partly because I hadn't really been putting enough effort into it. I didn't have any decent stock. I was just listing the dregs if I was listing at all. So it was time really to kind of get my finger out and make a bit more of an effort really. If I want to make more of an income, I do rely on it, so I do need to make a bit more effort with eBay and selling online generally. I'm thinking about looking at vintage, but I'm not sure really whether to do that again. So this week, or last week I should say, I took a trip to Braintree, and here's how I got on. So it's Saturday morning and I really was convinced that there was a jumble sale this morning, and when I checked the date it's next Saturday. So I'm kind of all geared up. I was all geared up to go out and buy lots of things to sell on eBay, and I decided to drive to Braintree. So I'm in Braintree now. Some of the charity shops here are really good. Some of them are ridiculously expensive, same as anywhere really. You find the independents and they tend to be quite good. So I'm going to aim for those first and just see what I can pick up. Not for myself this time, but more things to sell on eBay to make myself a little bit of extra income during my frugal February. So all back from Braintree, and as I said in the car, I focused on the independent shops because there are some very expensive charity shops in Braintree where I went, as there are anywhere else. So I was kind of focusing my efforts on the shops that were independent, that I knew would give me really good value and have some interesting things in there that weren't so expensive that I couldn't make a profit. So I'll go through those. First of all, I'll have a sip of tea in my little poppy mug, which actually, I was thinking about this. I think I bought this the last time I went to Braintree, some time ago, for 50p from the ambulance shop. So I love that. I can just change all my mugs up and swap them over and give my old ones to the charity shop and get some new ones every now and then, just when I get bored with them. So I've said before in previous videos that I want to look at more kind of antiques and bric-a-brac. So I was really on the lookout for those. I did find a few things. I don't know that they're absolute winners. I bought some clothing as well, but one of my clothing items I'm not sure about really. But I don't really generally check in charity shops prices. I don't really like to, but sometimes I do if it's a really expensive thing, but I didn't really do a lot of checking. So the first place I went to was the air ambulance clearance store, which is mostly £1. All of the clothing is £1. Most of the shoes are £1, sometimes they're £2. Even the curtains were £1. They have one or two things that are slightly more expensive, as I say, but mostly it is actually £1. I went on to a children's charity shop, which again is normally rammed full and you really have to go through it. And they have some real gems in there. And I do know that they do pull some things out to sell on eBay, because I heard them having a discussion about a set of china in there when I was in there. But mostly they put just things out and they don't they really undercharge. I think they just don't have the resource perhaps to do a lot of eBay listing themselves. So I get the impression it might also be a clearance store because things are so cheap in there. I went to an RSPCA one, which is normally quite good. This time, I think they've got a new manager in and the prices have gone up a little bit, but it's still worth looking at. And they had a very interesting vintage rail, but I didn't think there was any kind of profit for me. But it was interesting for research. I could see the kind of things that were worth selling maybe and what they were charging for them. They might have. I really should actually go onto Depop or on eBay and search the kind of things that they were selling. They had a really nice little 60s suit, the sort of thing you see in a film, a lady's suit, very kind of boxy jacket and pencil skirt. And I think they were charging £15 for it. And I was thinking, well, I don't know how much that would be. So I didn't buy it, how much I could charge. So, but it is interesting. I think you can, if you got the right kind of audience, you can charge quite a lot for vintage stuff. But I don't have enough of it. People won't be coming to my shop to look for that. So anyway, I'll show you what I did get. Where else did I go? Actually, I went to one more. I'm trying to think where else I went to. I did go into another vintage shop, which just was for looking. I did a little bit of filming in there. I can't remember. Anyway, I'll show you what I got. So this one was from the Children's Society shop, the children's one. I saw it as soon as I went in and I thought, oh, bric-a-brac, interesting bric-a-brac. Don't know anything about this make, but I thought it was very pretty. It's just like a vegetable serving dish or something serving dish. I've got it upside down, haven't I? Let's have a look. So it's called Orient from the Dynasty collection by Franciscan. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's got no chips or anything. It's in nice condition. I think it's really pretty. I like the colours. And I wasn't sure when I went to look in on eBay for this particular type. They had a few people asking £20, that kind of thing, for just this. There was somebody asking £20 for one with a chip. This one hasn't got a chip, so maybe 25. I don't know. This is just what people are asking. And as I've said in previous videos, that doesn't mean they're going to get that. So it might mean that they only get £10 for it and they're asking way too much. But I do like that. I thought that was quite pretty. I picked up, because on occasion, I have picked up belts and they've gone for a lot because you can pick them up really cheaply. This one was 50p. I can't remember which charity shop I got it in. I've done it before, just interesting belts or vintagey leather belts, and if you pay only 50p and then get £15 for it, that's a good profit, isn't it? I don't think this is good enough quality to get that kind of price. It's quite a thick belt. It is leather, but it's not the best quality, but it's quite retro, isn't it? So maybe I'll get, I don't know, maybe I'll get £10 on that. That might be a bit optimistic. £10 free postage, perhaps. We'll see. But I quite enjoy researching things like that as well. I picked these up just because they were pretty. There were 2 cups and saucers for £1. They're Regal Spencer. That's nothing special at all. It's the kind of thing that if I was packing my dresser, I would put on the dresser, but I've got enough things on there, I don't need it. So I got a little blue one and a little pink one, and they were £1 for the pair. And then they don't have a massive value, but they're the kind of things, I think I said when I was looking at my china before that Justin gave me, that maybe candle makers might like, but these, because I've got the saucers with them still, maybe the pair, I don't know, I might get a £5. I'm not going to get a lot for them. I just thought I'd pick them up. They're pretty. I'm experimenting with bric-a-brac. I didn't think that would be massively valuable, and I was right. But it's worth a go, isn't it? Worth having a look. The other thing that I bought a lot of, 3 pairs this time, was curtains, because they were £1 in the air ambulance shop, and I think I picked up a pair for £2 from one of the other shops. And, you know, that's very cheap for a pair of curtains, but you can't always find a pair of curtains that go with your decor in the charity shop. So I have done before, but quite often I'll go onto eBay and buy a second-hand pair, and it may be that somebody has sourced those cheaply in a charity shop. I've got a few pairs. The problem with curtains is they do tend to take a bit of space for storage, but I thought they probably had a good profit in them, so I thought I'd give them a go. This is no brand in particular, but they're a very long pair of cream curtains with this floral pattern, so quite kind of neutral. So I thought they might have appeal. They're very long, so they're cotton mix, but they've not got any kind of maker's label, just a general care label. So I got those for £1 for the pair, which is just madness, isn't it? They're very clean, in nice condition. And I think I'd probably get £20 for those. And then these ones were also £1, and if they hadn't been cheap I wouldn't have picked them up, but they are very vintage. So they were £1 from the ambulance place, and they are vintage VHS. And I know they're vintage because they are, what's that, a label? Made in Britain. So if you ever see anything made in Great Britain or made in England or made in Hong Kong or made in Germany, West Germany particularly, those kind of things, you know they're vintage because they don't manufacture anything anymore. So everything's made in China, isn't it? So if you find something with that kind of label, you know it's vintage. So these are cotton and they're paisley and they're a cottagey red. I think they're quite nice. They smell oddly of Vicks. It's weird. I was going to say they smell musty, but they don't. They're not lined. Lined curtains are always better, I think, but they're in nice, clean condition and they cost £1. So I think I can probably get £20 on those as well. They're vintage curtains. And then these ones definitely not vintage. They're modern. They're Dunelm, but Dunelm can be quite expensive, I think. And they're quite heavy. They've got the ringlet, the eyelet things. Is that what you call it? The eyelet, yes. And they're very long, they're quite heavy, they've got a blackout lining. I think it might be a blackout thermal lining. Let's have a look. Oh, it doesn't say. So, but you can tell it feels very thick, it's the blackout lining. And they're long, very long, pink rose curtains. I think they'd look really nice in a bedroom, wouldn't they? So I don't know what Dunelm curtains go for second hand. I need to do a bit of research on those. I think I'd get at least £15. I might get more. I don't know. I'll have to have a look. So that was kind of bric-a-brac. And then I bought quite a lot of shoes and footwear. So let's get that up. I think I bought 5 pairs. Let's start with these odd ones. I picked these ones up because I didn't know what they were. They were really heavy. They were £1 in the air ambulance shop. They're really heavy. I thought perhaps they were because I'm quite sort of bowling shoes to start with because they were heavy. But when I've looked, they're steel toe cap, which you don't think that to start with, to look at them, would you? They're safety shoes and they're made by Trojan. And I've looked online and they go for quite a lot of money, although not in white. Most of them tend to be like men's black work boots and that kind of thing. So I really don't know what the value is on here on these. I don't imagine who would wear them. I mean, they're clearly women's. They're a women's size. They're a UK 6. I don't know. Nurses wouldn't wear those, would they? They're in steel toe caps. I don't know if they'll be that comfortable. They're very heavy. So if anyone's got any brilliant ideas of who to aim those for, let me know. But I picked them up because they were £1 and they're unusual. I thought, well, they might have some value. Any men's work boots that I picked up before have definitely had value and have been worth picking up. So I thought I'll get them. And then I picked these ones up from the air ambulance for £1. They're only M&S collection, just very classic court shoes, stiletto type things, just for work. They're in good condition though. Still got the label on the back, and they're leather. So I thought for £1 they were worth picking up. I don't think I'll get a lot for those. What size are they? Bigger sizes definitely sell for more. These only are size 4, so they're not a big size at all. So maybe a tenner if I'm lucky. These ones, I do find ugly, quirky shoes do sell, and a certain type of woman with the quirky dress sense likes these kind of things. I actually quite like them myself, but I'd have no occasion to wear those. And they're in good condition. Again, they're leather. They are Clarks, size 6. And I think they were £2. They were £2. I don't think they came from the ambulance. I'm trying to think which shop I got those from. I can't remember. But they were £2. So there's a good profit in those Clarks shoes. I saw a similar pair. I think I bought these first, actually, because I paid more for them. Paid £6.50 for these. They are also quirky Clark shoes. They're almost like kind of theatre shoes, aren't they? Like character shoes. But they were £6.50, which is probably too much, but they were a size 8. And they're leather. They're in very good condition. I'm sure I can get £10 profit on those. That's what I will aim for anyway. Sort of maybe start them at £17 or something, just see. Again, I wouldn't probably wear them myself, but I can see how they would look really nice with a certain style that a certain kind of older woman would wear. And then one more pair of shoes. if I can get them still in their box. They were only £2, and this was from the children's charity shop again. They're not brand new. They're size 6.5, and they're Crocs again. They're these really nice boots, wedge ankle boots, and they're in really good condition. Apart from this one, you can see there's a couple of scratches on the front. So I think I could polish most of that out. The other one is fine. And so they're nice quality leather, and they're not worn very much at all. They've got a bit of mud on the bottom, but I can clean that off. Yeah, so I thought they were definitely worth £2. So I can definitely get £10 profit on those, if not little more. And then whilst I'm down here, some clothing. So this was the item I think is a bit of a waste of time. I wouldn't normally pick up real fast fashion items because you don't get anything, even if they're new with tags. But this one, I thought, that's not bad. It's new with tags, pretty little thing. And I have sold various black jumpsuits before. They're a kind of real going out staple when you're a certain age. It's got long, slightly sort of flared legs. It's definitely a going out sort of outfit. And I picked up because I thought, well, I'm sure that I'll sell that. Looking at prices, it was probably a waste of time. I'll be lucky if I get £8 for that. So I might put it on auction, start it at 8, and if I get 8, that's fine. So it's a waste of time. I have to stop myself doing things like this and buying those kind of fast fashion, H&M, Pretty Little Things, Nasty Gal type things, unless there's something really special. Topshop's a bit better, I think. So maybe I'd stick for those. But I need to, if I'm trying to buy things, not just clutter my office with low price things, I need to stop doing that kind of thing. This was in the Children's Society, and it was £2. It's Fat Face. Fat Face doesn't sell for loads, but it does always sell. It's just a real classic yummy mummy dress, really, midi dress. So I could probably get £12 for that. I could probably get my £10 profit, probably. I mean, I'm not counting eBay fees here. So is that everything? I actually think that is. I've come to an abrupt standstill because that's all of it. So that was all of everything I got from Braintree. I've been listing over the last few days the stuff that Justin got me that he got in from his attic, all his collectible things, books and a Sabutio and things like that. I've really been making an effort. I've sat and done a lot of those, so I've now got piles of the books all done here. The Sabutio is done. Haven't tackled the comics. I've really got to bundle those up, I think, and do the comics. And then when I was going through my office, I found a whole load of mainly Harry Potter hardback books, mostly first editions, that I need to kind of group together. I saw, I think she keeps changing her name, but there's a lady called Shell's World, and she groups first editions in good condition together, the Harry Potter books, and when she's got the whole lot, she sells them for £120. And I was really surprised by this. I almost feel like I couldn't charge that much for it because you can pick them up individually really quite cheaply. But I've been gathering them together and they've been sitting on the bookshelves, and I might have a set, so I've pulled them all in here to go through and check. Justin found one that is allegedly signed by J.K. Rowling in his attic, which he picked up at a charity shop a long time ago. So I need to do some research on that and see if that's a genuine signature, see if I can work out if it's a genuine signature, because I don't want to sell something on eBay as genuine if I don't know for sure that it is. I want to be very, very certain. Otherwise I'll get a strike from eBay. They don't like you selling anything counterfeit, quite rightly too. So I haven't tackled the bits and pieces of China either. So I need to do that before I start stocking up on other things and just see if it's worth listing them, because otherwise they are just cluttering up the office. I'm trying not to do that. So they will either get listed in groups or they will go to the charity shop. So I have to just make that decision and sort it out. I'm not going to be doing a lot more sourcing this month. I've spent quite a lot of money, so I now need to start bringing some money in before I do that. Before I do anything else. My Frugal February is going quite well. I have only spent on gifts, which I had budgeted for and kind of prepared for, and the sofa. I don't know if you saw a previous video where I had failed my Frugal February within about 3 or 4 days because I bought a second-hand sofa from the charity shop, which was just brilliant. It's so comfortable. I absolutely love it. It arrived and it is so comfortable. So I don't regret buying that. I think Sometimes if it's something that you have got on your want list, you feel you need it, which we did, if you see it secondhand, you just have to jump in and get it. So I don't regret doing that. I'm trying not to spend now on anything other than essentials, and so far it's been pretty easy. I think when you are a reseller and you're sourcing items, you feel like you're spending anyway. So obviously I am spending money, but it's for the business. So if you feel like you need a bit of retail therapy, you get it without actually spending any of your own money. I can justify it. So that kind of helps, but I won't be doing a lot more of that this month, although it's possible that I'll go to the jumble sale that I thought was on last Saturday, this Saturday. It's possible that I'll do that. I'm not quite sure what we're doing this weekend and what I'm doing with my mum and dad. So we're going over to mum and dad's for tea tonight. I'm just roast a chicken, do some salad and stuff and take them dinner. But I'm still trying to get over there at least twice a week, if not 3 times, just to make sure they're okay. Look out for them doing any bits of shopping and cleaning and cooking and just, making life easy for them. My mum is doing brilliantly now, having broken her leg and her hip, and the femur around the hip is what she actually broke in several places, and she's been stapled up and got plates and screws and all sorts in her leg, bless her. But she's doing fantastically well, because this is how my parents have lived so long, I think. My dad is 90, my mum is 87. They are just so determined to just get on with life and be independent. And I'm helping them, but I also don't want to stand in the way of them doing that. So my dad will keep toddling up to the shop. Here's a walker. He goes up to the shop and gets bits and pieces of milk, and that's good. Let him do that, milk and bread and stuff like that. That gets him out and about, and he's still capable of doing that. So he doesn't want to just be sat on his backside at home. Mum is forced to be sat on her backside a lot of the day, but is getting up. She also has a walker for indoors, and she's taken herself off to the loo. She's going and doing the washing up. She's directing my dad when he's trying to cook, which is quite funny really, because he's not a great cook. And she's doing really well. So thank you to those of you who've asked about her. So that's it, I think, for this time. I am aware that all I've done really this month is show you my hauls. It's not going to turn into a reselling channel, but that is really what my focus has been the last couple of weeks. So I thought I would share that with you. So that's it for now. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to give me a like and subscribe and hit your notifications bell so you know next time I upload something. I'll see you then. Bye for now.